Why would we pursue a nuclear reactor design that creates waste over one that doesn't?
If you haven't already seen that video, I recommend you go watch it. Let's talk more about breeder reactors. Why did they start the breeder reactor program? Why did they stop? And should we be prioritizing it now? First off, let's go ahead and talk about what is a breeder reactor. Basically, it's when you take that nuclear material that's not usable in a conventional reactor to produce energy and convert it into something that is. This can be done with uranium or thorium, which is always a crowd favorite, even though uranium and thorium both have those same advantages that most people think that thorium only has. In conventional reactors, they use uranium-235, which is a specific isotope or flavor of uranium that readily fissions. The thing with uranium-235 is that it makes up only 0.7% of naturally occurring uranium. The rest of it is uranium-238, which is not usable in conventional reactors. If we were to use breeder reactors, we could use up all of that naturally occurring uranium, and we could use thorium. In the early days of nuclear development, they thought that uranium was an extremely rare element. So they thought that we needed to develop a breeder reactor program in order to be able to better utilize the uranium we have if we wanted to use uranium-fueled reactors for the energy needs of the future. This is why there are actually several breeder reactor experiments that were made in the beginning days of nuclear development. They had the experimental breeder reactor 1 and 2, and they even had the shipping port reactor, which is the first reactor out there, had thorium in it. Indian Point had it as well. When they sent these prospectors out there to find uranium out in nature, they figured out that uranium was actually everywhere. So the fact that uranium actually wasn't very rare, and they had a lot of complications trying to put breeders on submarines, basically killed the breeder program. So should the breeder reactor program be brought back? In my opinion, yes, but with some stipulations. I think that most people think that we need them to solve all of nuclear power problems such as cost, waste, and safety. The Gen 3 Plus reactors that they're building today are extremely safe, and the waste they produce is well contained, and it can be safely contained until those breeder reactors come online in the future. Now with the cost, there's a lot of complications with breeder reactors, and there's basically no operator experience or construction experience. With our current generation of reactors, we already have them certified through the regulators, and we have a lot of experience operating them. We just need to get better at building them. But if we want to go full throttle on sustainable nuclear, we will need breeder reactors in the next couple decades.